Welcome back to the Automation Podcast. My name is Shawn Tierney, and this week on the show, I'm doing something a little bit different. As you know, I was out at the Manufacturing in America show all week, either at the show or driving back and forth. And so I didn't get a chance to do any interviews. So what I did is I did 4 live streams while I was at the show, and I've combined them all together into a single episode of the Automation Podcast. I know this is really releasing a little bit late, but in any case, I did want to put this together for the audio-only audience. And I know some of the audio is a little rough. I was trying several different headsets out at the show, but I thought some of you might enjoy just hearing my stream of consciousness of, what the show was like, the experience I had setting up, the trials with the hardware. I do go into a little bit about my background on, insights in automation and my own personal history. I go into a little bit about how I make the Automation Morning Show news show. And just a bunch of different stuff I cover that I really never talk about before. So if you're interested in just hearing about me, talking about my experience and talking about my history, my past, and how I do things here and how the company works and everything, then I think you'll enjoy this episode. I also wanted to say for those who took part in the 4-week contest, I did snag a bunch of extra stuff. I got, for those listening, you can't see this, but I got a bunch of hats. I got another coffee cup. I got a couple pairs of these fancy socks. I got a cable connector, and I got a bunch of these. Everybody should get one of these. These are those special tools that are like keys. They go in your key ring, but they like have a bottle opener, a screwdriver, a file, all kinds of great stuff. So I got enough for everybody of these. And then we have these pouches. And I want to thank everybody who stopped by and signed the super secret guest book. I really appreciate you guys. And I want to thank Tisha for bringing me Peeps. I really enjoyed them. I think in the video I said I threw them away. I actually just threw the packaging away. I actually ate the Peeps. I was starving, and they were awesome. So she was great. And James came and hung out with me for a while. So many people came and said hi. Get to meet so many vendors. It was a great event. If you don't listen to the whole podcast, I highly recommend checking it out if you're in the Detroit area next year. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. Again, these are the 4 live streams I did live from the show. And I won't have an outgoing bumper because I got to jump on a plane and go off to vacation. So I just want to wish you all a awesome week while I'm gone. And stay safe, stay healthy. And until next time, my friends, peace. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Insights in Automation. Shawn Tierney here, broadcasting live from MIA. Hope you're doing good. So what a crazy morning it's been. All kinds of issues. So first of all, I'm in Detroit at Manufacturing in America. This is a Siemens and Electromatic event, and I got multiple cameras. So this is camera number 1. That's camera number 2. That's a Logitech. I got camera, let's go to camera number 3 over here. Okay, so I got that one pointing from that side. Of course, I got the backdrop. If you guys have been watching the show, that's camera number 1. Okay, so, and this is the Brio. I also have another Logitech looking out over the show floor. So you can see the show floor behind me. Now, I've just set this all up this morning. I originally had a GoPro to show the show floor, and it worked perfectly at the house, but it wouldn't work at all here on site. And I don't know why. Did I change the cables? I tried every cable I had, so I don't know what happened there. But in any case, we can't see the show floor. It is lunchtime because I just finally got everything working. I had to run out to the car and get this headset because the mics I had purchased based on a recommendation, the Rode system, which is looked like it was going to be really good. But where I'm sitting up above the crowd, right, all the noises coming up here, and I'm like, I got to go get my Bluetooth headset, and I got to use that. And I know this isn't the highest quality headset that on the market, but in any case, I did want to do a live stream from the show. I've met some great people. I just had a couple of guys stop by. I also met James with Hoover. And my goal was I was going to do interviews with people here, and that's why I have the camera set up. So you can see I got that camera over there, which is that one. Yes, that camera over there. So I have that one set up. And then, of course, I have the Logitech. And the reason I do the Brio is because I can go widescreen. So I could take it out and go really, really wide, right? So you can see Ford Field behind me, and actually Ford Field's over there. So in any case, I can see the football field from here, but in any case, I can't get it in the shot. So with that said, what a crazy morning. So the mics, I tried as I might. It's just the crowd noise is overdriving it. So I had to go to headsets. So, I don't blame the people who recommended them to me. They didn't know. They thought they would work good at a trade show, and they don't.
especially where I'm sitting here up above the trade show where where you can see, let me get this view. Yeah, so you can see the trade show going on down there. A lot of great stuff coming. There's a great crowd here. Again, I wish I would have had this up when everybody was down there not eating lunch, but just great to be at the show and be able to live stream from the show. Now I'm just going to pop over. I tried to do this on Rumble and it was painful. Tried to do it on LinkedIn. And, even though I have 15,000 followers over there and connections, it says, "Oh no, you're not set up for that." So, but I am live on Twitter, and I am live on the YouTube channel, which I think most of you know me from the YouTube channel. So, hey, thank you, Jake. Jake says, "Hey, Jake, thanks." Jake has been right next to me. Jake Hall, the manufacturing millennial, has been right next to me filming an interview. Oh, he's right there. Hey, I don't have a camera to point at you. But I see, I didn't even see it. See, it's the tunnel vision. And you guys know I don't usually wear my glasses, but with all the little text here, I got to wear them. So I know it makes me look. Does it make me look? Nah, it doesn't make me look any smarter. But in any case, really appreciate Jake, and I've been able to hear all the interviews he's doing next door here. And let's see here. So let me go back to. Yep, that's where I want. No, let's go here. How about that one? So, in any case, the backdrop went up great. We were able to get it up. I got the light black blocking on the back, and let me see if I don't know. Do I like that camera better? In any case, so I have both the cameras here, and I brought these particular cameras because they can record as well. So I have the. They don't make these anymore. I wish they would, but the ones with the built-in remotes, so you can zoom in and zoom out, and you can record right on it. They have hard drives built in. I really love those cameras. But in any case, what I wanted to try to do here, because I'm not on the show floor, is I wanted to try. I really missed doing the daily news yesterday, and so I wanted to try to go through and show you what I do to put together the daily news program. Matter of fact, the guys who stopped by said they love the daily news program, and I have had somebody actually get their name in the guest book. So they actually filled in the guest book, so they'll be getting one of our signature coffee cups for doing that. But in any case, let me go over to, um, let's see here. What do I want to do? I want to share my screen. So, you know what? This is where we're doing things on the fly here because I got all these different cameras set up, right? And the one thing I didn't do was I didn't set up, I even got the laptop webcam. Oh, that's way wicked close. But I didn't set up a screen capture. So let me go ahead and do that now. And we'll just call this display. Now, usually I'll have multiple cameras when I'm doing this. And I love how it switched to it automatically. I didn't even ask it to switch to it, but it switched to it automatically. So I think the first thing we'll have to do, again, we're doing this on the fly, right? Is we'll have to do a copy here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you should be able to hear me now. Let me add a display capture here. This is what we call, live streaming on the fly here. And we're going to do just Windows. Let's capture Windows here. Okay, so you guys should be hearing me, but now you see my screen. So what I'm going to do here is let's see if I can minimize everything that's going on in the background, right? And let me go ahead. So I have these batch files set up for the morning news. And so, I just thought it would be good if I could put a headshot in here so you guys could actually see me. So let me go to this, let me do the Brio. I'll do the Brio. So let me go ahead and copy that input here. Video capture device. Oh, I think probably better if I grab this one. Let me copy that one right there. So we'll copy input and we'll paste it over here. Yeah, so you can see me now as we're looking at the news. So I run these batch files, right? And I'm just going to flip over the YouTube just to make sure I'm still seeing it. Everything's working. Okay, great. So I run these batch files to do the morning news. And these open up, I got dozens and dozens and dozens, over 100 web pages I open up. And what I do is I really just go in there and say, hey, is there anything interesting? So here, what you're seeing is you're seeing that, the latest news here is, hey, their shares went up. Well, I don't want to talk about that. That's not interesting for a technical person. Now here, this is one I actually covered. This was best practices in digital twins, and this is one I recommended, right? So you guys should be seeing that on your screen. Yeah, okay. So in any case, and so that's what I do. What I typically do this is after work. Sometimes I'll do it at 4 o'clock, but I'll do this after work, and I'll just go through. And this is kind of, I'll show you this. This is kind of funny. So one of the things I run into is the fact that sometimes people put in the wrong date. So here, every time I come to look at what's new with Rockwell literature, right, I see that there is a date here, right? Somebody put in for this two base relay a date of 2027. So I always have to ignore that first, and there's no way to let them know either. But in any case, so I'll come down here. You can see, look at this is pretty new, April 30th, 2023. Now, last time I checked, it wasn't April 30th yet. So this news technical data sheet, that's like given a future date. I don't know what the actual date is, but this is how I go through doing the news. And you'll see, like a lot of times they'll update their training schedule. I don't cover that because, it's just a training schedule, right? There's nothing technical to talk about there. Here's the latest sample code we have there. We come over to Siemens. I can see all the new manuals. So I go through this and I'm looking for what would be interesting for somebody who's using PLCs, HMIs, VFDs. And so I do this, and this does take about an hour every morning or every night to go through. I'll come here and I'll check out the podcast. Some of these podcasts are pretty good, but this one had an issue where the audio was messed up. So, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to recommend it if the audio doesn't sound good, and so on. So this is the kind of stuff that we go through for the daily news. And you can see here, there's all this PsyProtect. So I'll go in there. This is device drivers. Will I cover it? Probably not, because it's just device drivers, right? But if it's a manual or a tech sheet or something, I'll definitely take a look at it. So, some of these get into ESG and other things, and they're just talking about, hey, look at us, and rah, rah us. And so I won't cover those either because it's like, this is a technical show. We're looking for technical news, right? And so in any case, these are some of the sites I go through and I'll take a look at. Sometimes what they're talking about has nothing to do with automation. It may have to do with transportation, airlines, and whatnot. So, in any case, these are some of the sites I go through to bring you the daily news. And so I'll go in, I'll look at some of these. Like this is an EcoStruxure Machine SCADA Expert Lake catalog, and I'll actually pull it up and I'll look, is this going to be something that's interesting? So when I actually do the news show, I've already looked through here and I've tried to zoom in and read through it, and a lot of times you could say, oh, well, that looks interesting, and I'll go through some of that stuff. Um, Emerson, you can see the newsroom here. I covered these filters, but I didn't cover this. Their advanced global automation leadership through acquisition of NI. Well, that's actually very interesting. I haven't seen this yet. We know that Emerson was looking to acquire National Instruments, and that's very interesting because National Instruments overlaps into our area quite a bit. And so that may be something I would cover on the show. And then we have here newest first. We'll go through and see what the new manuals are here. So this is the process I go through. A lot of times here on Omron, they'll have seminars, and they'll talk about seminars openly on their website. But yet, what they will do is you have to be a distributor to actually attend the seminar. So I won't cover them because we're customers. We're not going to be. Why would they broadcast that to the world if they don't let their customers come in? And so these are some of the screens I'll go through. So that's what I do, and I actually have this batch file pause because it opens up so many different screens at one time that I found if I try to open 100 at one time, what will happen is we won't get, some of them will die. They won't actually come out, right? So in any case, and sometimes some of these never update. I've actually gone through recently in the past where I took some of these sites out because there's never anything new. Now we did cover Atro before, and yes, I got to go through on these cookies every time. But that's what we'll do here. We'll see. All right, so this is a new one, right? Is that new or did we cover it? That was on the 12th. Today's the 12th, so that's new. So we'll take a look at that. Sometimes you'll see things double posted. So they'll post about the video, and then they'll post again. They'll post an article which just says, hey, we have a new video. So I try to filter those out so you guys aren't getting doubled up on that kind of stuff. And again, so I'm just going through all these sites. Sometimes they come in out of order. And I find a lot of sites like this. Like, so BNR has had some great new news, but you can see here, right? 2206 was the last newsletter, right? So eventually I may start coming to the site every day, and I may put it in another batch file, which is only checked once a month because they're not updating those newsletters. So that's the gory details of how the news is actually created every day. And so what I do is when I find something, I'll have the automate.news open, and I'll paste all the files in. I'll just paste the links in. Usually at the end of the day, I'm not going into a deep dive on them. So I'm just saying, okay, this has possibility of making the show. And so, that's what I'll do. And so when I run through this bat file. I got a couple more I'll go through, and I try to cover all the big vendors. I'm always looking for vendors to cover though. So like there's a lot of vendors who never, never post anything, and so I can use Alt Tab to go through here. And let me go through here like that. Hey, John. So the guys at Siemens have been great today. They've all come over. They said hi, introduced themselves. A lot of those folks I've only met, virtually. So to meet them in person has been awesome. John even helped me bring John to tell him, you remember him from the V18 update. He actually helped me bring this stuff in. We rode over together, and he helped me with the hotel and everything. So they've been just phenomenal to work with. And so I'll just tab through some of these quickly. And a lot of these, I'll come here and there'll be maybe one new thing every month. So which is kind of sad to see that, but I'm still hoping that here's the Ballot site where I found those. I am planning on meeting. We actually have to reschedule that meeting for next week, but they're going to be sending me some goodies or next week, actually a couple weeks out. But in any case, so I walk through all the major vendors, and again, I'm always looking for new vendors to cover. I actually got to go see them because I think Yaskawa is here at the show, showing their robots. So I got to get downstairs and look at them later. But in any case, and that's what I do. I just go through them all. I try to pull out what it is, and what I do is I just grab the links and I put them over at automate.news in it's a draft article that I use. And so I wish IDEC had more. They've only had a couple news stories this year. We come down here, you can see 123 and 228. And so that's what I do to bring the news. And I'm looking for a way to automate. Now, look, there is some new products here I haven't covered yet. So we get the Q5Z laser measurement, and we have this 8-port IO-Link master's been updated. So I'll cover those next time I do a new show proper. And you can see the press releases here. Leviton, I wish they would talk more. They have some great stuff for industrial, but they typically more on the commercial side. Banner's blog, they have great blogs, but they haven't had a lot new this year. And so that's how we make the news. We did have Ron on from our RC on from PNF. We got a great new episode of that coming up, and that's on LiDAR, which is really cool technology. So just walk through here. You can see some of the articles I've covered. Kind of wish we could get more from Turk. They have some great products out there. Here you can see the condition monitoring one I covered recently. And so this is how the news is made. And so I go through all these different sites, and Kant has not had anything new since January. So, you know, and some of these I got to take out because they never update their manuals, or there's no way to filter on the manuals to see what's the latest and greatest manuals. But in any case, yeah, this is how the news is made. So you can see I'm stepping through here, and I do try to read. And so that's what I do in the evening because I'm kind of, at that point I'm burnt out. It's the evening. I've already done maybe the automation show, the morning show. I've done the automation podcast, maybe record 2 or 3 different episodes of the podcast in one day. And so I'm kind of burnt out at 4 or 5 o'clock. So that's when I start going through all these web pages. It's kind of a no-brainer thing I could do. I don't have to put a lot of thought into it, and I could say, okay, this is a potential. And then what I do is in the morning, right, usually around 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's when I actually go and read these things, right? And I do listen to the podcast. I'll put them on 2 speed if I can to see if they're good. And a lot of times they're not good, right? They're just they're not, I mean, they're good if you're an avid fan of that particular podcast host or that particular vendor, you'll like everything they do. But I'm looking for something that appeals to everybody. And a lot of times what they have just doesn't appeal to that broader audience. So I won't share it with you guys because it's just like, hey, there's not a lot of new stuff there. Let me pull up that third one here. No, this is not my house. That's my dream house. If you can see that, let me go back to YouTube, make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing because I only have one screen here. So that's another thing too, is only having one screen. Yeah, okay, you guys are seeing it. Only having one screen, you can't see what everybody's seeing. So let me run number C out. And so it'll open up a bunch of more screens. And so that's what I do. So every time I'm bringing you an article, I'm actually reading the article. I actually read it over a couple cups of coffee between 5:30 and 6:30. I'm trying to read every single article and going through them all and making sure that what I'm bringing you is actually pertinent and important. I'm just trying to find, where did I leave off? Probably Grace here, right? So like there's been times where I haven't promoted the Grace articles, even though they do a new one every Wednesday, because maybe it's just something that they paid to have put on automation.com, and it's just a retread of that, or maybe it's an article that they published with a partner like Rockwell, and I've already covered it, so I'm not going to cover it a second time. And then sometimes it's just like, hey, we're going to be at this trade show. So that's kind of what goes through making the news and bringing the news every day. And, it's a good way for me to stay up to date on what's happening out there. And so, what are the new products out there? Who's making, we covered the EAO's new Series 9 uh, buttons, on can. And that one was kind of like, should I cover it? Should I not cover it? Because, is the audience using a lot of can? But I figured at the end of the day, let's cover it. Can is used in some industries pretty heavily. So, and I think, why not, right? If we know Ethernet IP, we know Profinet, we know, EtherCAT, why shouldn't we know about CAN products as well, right? Because CAN is used in automation. And so, in any case, I got to get the Rittal too, because Rittal's here as well. Um, Here's their blog. You see where I covered that. And so here's Advantech, this their site. And so that's what goes into making the daily news show. And Honeywell, they recently had a new podcast I didn't cover. So I covered the last one, Dock Warehouses, which, while it wasn't very technical, I enjoyed the podcast. It was just an enjoyable conversation. The next one is sustainability, sustainable innovation. And so I typically won't cover anything on ESG, sustainability, DEI. Not that I think wastefulness is good. I don't. I am totally against pollution 100%. But most of these people are talking about products that are made in third world countries with slave labor, with the dirtiest power on the planet. And it's like, that's not sustainable, right? Just, being sustainable means not only a product that won't waste a lot, but also a product that's made through good manufacturing practices, including, fair wages for the employees, right? Do those employees have health care? Or if they break their leg, they're just thrown out on the street and have to beg, right? So I think a lot of the companies, they totally miss that. So when we're talking sustainability, we're talking, it's not just if putting the product in the practice, but it's the manufacturing of that product. And that's what really irks me, because you'll get people, they'll buy the cheapest solar panels made in third world countries, and they'll think they're being all, virtual signaling, look, I'm using solar. It's like, yeah, but those panels, more carbon was emitted by manufacturing those panels than you would have ever emitted using gas to heat your house. And so it's just, there's just a whole, like, people have blinders on, and I'm hoping someday people will actually say, hey, sustainable means from cradle to grave. It's not just the product in use, it's the products being manufactured, right? So, in any case, I'll get off my soapbox. Hey, I'm doing a live stream, right? We're going to talk about all different things, right? So, in any case, I'm just going through some of the screens that I look at every day. There's over 100 of these. I've stripped out a lot of the ones that talk about events and whatnot. And this is what it takes to bring you guys the news every day. And it's a commitment of a lot, but I also learn a lot. It keeps me up to date, because somebody who's working in my garage studio, which is, you can see the facsimile behind me, um, that's I'm not up to speed on the latest and greatest. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can switch back here. And I'm going back there for a reason. The reason I want to go back to the Brio is I can do the extra wide on it here. So let me go extra wide, so you can kind of see the full setup here, right? And so this is 8 feet wide, right? And I couldn't use the picture full screen. I got to look at the Brio now. I couldn't use the picture full screen, full size, right? Because I just didn't. 50 megapixels was not enough quality to do that. So what I did is, you can see I cropped it a little bit. I can't remote control the camera, but on the top, you guys have seen the pictures. If you follow me, I've shared the pictures with you. On the top, it says Insights and Automation, has the name of all the shows. And then the bottom is blank. You can't see the bottom down there. But I do think it came out really good. I've had several people come by and say, hey, that looks great. It really did come out good. I know it's not perfect. Some of the DVD products that I sell, like my at Rockwell courses, my Siemens courses, and my video collections, they're not perfectly straight. And I just didn't have enough time to finish wiring everything. But in any case, hey, it's Rev One, and this company will sell. This is I think it's Blue Wave Printing. They will sell me just a new picture for the front. So maybe when I get a 100 megapixel camera or a 200 megapixel camera, then I'll be able to get a full size shot, and I'll have everything wired up and all the lights on. And I'll have, what I want to do is have all the HMIs have my gear spinning. So if you follow me, all of the logos have the gear on it. You know, um, even the business cards, everything has the gears on it, because I'm not that inventive, sir. All my marketing is done by me. And in any case, so let me go back to here. So I'm not going to leave it in that wide angle. We bring it in a little bit. We'll do 78. And that's one of the things I like about the Brio. And in any case, so with that, let me go back to YouTube and Twitter and just check on them really quickly to see if there's any new comments coming in. Yeah, I wanted to do LinkedIn. I wanted to do Rumble. LinkedIn is not working. And then Rumble is just very weird. But in any case, most of you guys are on YouTube. So just coming in here, see if there's any comments. I'm not seeing any comments coming in on Twitter. Twitter's kind of new for us. We really wanted to wait until they got new leadership, and because we know, well, now the Twitter files, read them. We all know what happened with them. And then over on YouTube here, um, we have one comment from Bush, and Bush is saying, "Can we talk politics?" That's not what he's saying. But the question is, can we talk politics? No, we're not going to talk politics because that divides people. Automation brings people together. Am I looking at the right camera? I don't think I am. I think I'm back on the Brio. So in any case, they're kind of close. So here's the other thing too. So I had these brackets to mount to the table. The whole plan was to mount all the cameras to the table. And you know what? It'd probably be more interesting if I do this. Let me switch back over to OBS so I can actually see what I'm live streaming to you. And let me go there. Okay, so you can see down there on the show floor again, everybody's out there eating lunch. But what was I saying? We're not going to talk politics. Automation brings us together, and it's really, you guys know if you've been following me, you know that I'm all about manufacturing local, about making products where the users are going to use them, right? So if you sell cars in North America, make them in North America. If you sell cars in Europe, make them in Europe. If you sell cars in China, make them in China. Employ local people to make the product you're selling locally. I'm a huge fan of that because everybody needs good jobs. People in North America aren't the only people who need good jobs. People in Europe aren't the only people who need good jobs. People in China, we need good jobs everywhere. And one of my things on my wish list is to open up the automation school for Africa. If there's one place that I don't get a lot of students from, or I get a lot of requests to get a free copy of the students, is from the folks in Africa. I know South America, highly automated. Even the Middle East, lots of automation, right? China, lots of automation. Europe, but Africa, right? There's just not a lot of automation down there that I've seen, and so I'd really love to open up a version of the automation school just for Africa, have everything dubbed in whatever the common languages are in Africa, right? Of course, it'll be in English because that's all I speak poorly, but I would love to have a version of the automation school just for Africa where we can make the courses like really give them away for like $1 or whatever an hour's worth or 2 hours worth of wages, an average in Africa, because they need good jobs too, right? And there's so much that has to happen in that continent to help those folks out. And there are great cities in Africa where they do a lot of automation, but there's a lot of places where they need to get up to speed. They're not at the same level as the rest of the world. And so I thought that would be cool to do that. But in any case, so yeah, that's my rant about that. But I think in this summer, the Twitter files to me were just the beginning. I think we're all going to have our eyes open and see that, all these independent groups, they haven't been independent. I think most of you know that anyways, right? I mean, we have proof that all these big companies that are supposed to be independent media companies have really just been spouting their own opinions, right? And I got enough of my own opinions. I'm not going to share them with you because you got enough of your own opinions as well. So that'll happen this summer. I think we'll see more and more disclosures come out. And you know what? Maybe we'll get a Walter Cronkite back, somebody who can come on the stage and really just report the news and not with any spin on it, right? We don't want spin. I don't want spin. But in any case, that's what I love about tech. There is no spin. It works or it doesn't, right? And that's why I don't do reviews either, because what I think is a great feature in TIA Portal, you may think stinks. You may like Studio 5000, or you may like eCockpit, or you might like CodeSys, or so everybody has their own likes and dislikes, and that's why we just try to cover every different vendor out there. And of course, this event, me being here and meeting all of you who have came out, everybody who signed the super secret, I should probably get the guest book out and show you, because if you're following me, you probably heard me mention the guest book on the show many times. So let me go back to the Brio full screen here, and here is the coveted guest book. So if you are here and you've watched the show, you know what to do. Come see that. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys too, I have not seen, at least now, I haven't been able to go through all the emails coming in for the contest. We ran that Siemens contest that showed I had a box of goodies. I actually got more goodies here. Hoping to take some of them home. But in any case, so we had that box of goodies, and people filled in that form, and so that contest is over. But there's another contest a lot of you don't know about, and that is the real-time automation contest. He's given away 10 books, and last time I checked, I did not have 10 entries into that contest. So if you want to win a free book on either Ethernet IP, I think his three books are Ethernet IP, OPC UA, and Modbus TCP. So only John can tell us what, because he dropped this on me in the middle of the podcast. So in any case, if you want to get one of those books for free, it's like a $20 value, right? So go watch the end of that podcast with John Rinaldi from Real Time Automation. There's information on how you can use the same contest form we were using for the morning show to get your free book. I mean, I know we haven't had 10 submissions yet. So I just need more of you guys to fill that contest form in. You need the keyword from the podcast. I don't actually verbalize it because I didn't know we were going to do this giveaway when I was recording it. But if you watch the video, you'll see the contest link, and you'll be able to enter to win a free book. It's the first 10 people. So if you're watching this right now, go enter it, and very likely you'll get a free book from John Rinaldi over at Real Time Automation. So with that, let's see what else is going on here. Just kind of crazy. So it's a 10.5-hour ride from the Berkshires to get out here to Detroit, and let me just go into that story, and if you guys aren't interested, you can tune out. But there's not much to talk about here at the show except about what getting here and my experiences and all that. But in any case, so I'm just checking to make sure the stream is still going. So in any case, so I get in the car, right? Things are running late. I'm thinking of everything last minute. Oh, I can bring this, I can bring that, and all these kind of things I could bring. And so I'm in Dunkin' Donuts in the longest Dunkin' Donuts line ever to get a cup of coffee because I spent 10 minutes looking for my coffee mug. I have I got it like 20 years ago. It's the only coffee mug I've ever had. It's not this one, but it looks like this, but it has a big handle. It's really deep. It's the only coffee mug I've ever had that never spills on me when I'm drinking it in the car. And I couldn't find it. I wasn't going to try one of these newfangled ones that I don't know if it's going to work. So I'm like, oh, I'll hit Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm already leaving a little late because I couldn't find my coffee cup. I'm in the Dunkin' Donuts line. It's the longest line ever. I'm just getting a coffee, right? But I think everybody in front of me was getting breakfast for $5, right? So I was just taking forever. So as I'm leaving, I'm like, oh, I need my Easy Pass. If you don't have Easy Pass and you're driving down Highway 90, the tolls are like double. I don't know exactly what they are, but they're like double the price, right? So I'm like, oh, so I got to go home and get the. So, anyways, it's 10.5 hours. There was some construction, different things. Of course, I'm an old man, so I got to stop a couple times, use the restroom. So it took about 11.5 hours to get here. So I ended up getting out of the Berkshires at around 8:30. I got here about. I think I was in my room by 8 o'clock, my hotel room by 8 o'clock. So long drive. I was trying to listen to some. I just randomly. No, I shouldn't say randomly. I really tried to pick some good Audible books to listen to, and I don't think I did a very good job. So, what do you do? So I have some fiction books I was listening to, sci-fi books and whatnot. So I ended up listening to those, and made the time pass. But I didn't want to fly. I've never set this up before. I didn't know what equipment was needed, so I was bringing extra equipment. I'll tell you one thing. What now? I wish I had brought a second monitor because I feel not being able to see the YouTube screen on here. It drives me nuts because usually when I'm live streaming, I've done thousands and thousands of live streams as a gamer because I'm a gamer. I don't do that. I haven't done much this year just because it's been so busy with the daily news. But in any case, I always like to have two monitors up so I can see if the stream is working, if something's going wrong. I like to be able to see the chat, and I like to do the pop-out chat. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger here. so I can get the chat up. A couple things I would do differently. I would not rely on the GoPro. Again, like I said, everything was working. Um, I ended up just bringing my Logitech 922. I had it in the car. I probably wasted an hour trying to get that to work, the GoPro to work. I don't know why it stopped working. It was working perfectly at home. Didn't have any problems. In any case, so probably would have just dished that right away. The other thing is I need better clamps for the tables. I had to pull over some additional tables to actually get the camera stands on them because the table I'm using here is super thick. It's like this thick, right? So it's like way thicker than the brackets I have that would work. I'd probably go too with another. I'd like to have the Brio in the center, so I'd go with a center stand for the Brio. I didn't bring one because I thought I was going to be able to have the cameras more in the center, so I didn't do that. But in any case, yeah, those are some of the things I would have done. Second screen, I would have had two headsets like Jake has from the manufacturer Millennial because as try as I might, these awesome Rode wireless mics, they just pick up too much of the noise. We're actually right above the trade show. All the sounds are coming right up here. So that's all we're getting. So even though I'm set up to do interviews, I can record them too and slice it up after the fact. I won't be able to do it. I'm going to have to run out to Best Buy. Also, you can see, you're seeing the top of my laptop in the Brio. Let me bring the Brio in a little bit here. I do like this, this, yeah, that'll get rid of the screen a little bit more here. Okay, great. So I am a big fan of this, the new Logitech Brio HD. I think it works really well. And the only thing is when the seller sold it to me on Amazon, they sold it to me as a different camera. But this is the business version of the camera I was trying to buy, and it works really good. So that's great. So I also want to say a shout out to James Hoover for coming by and saying hi to us and engaging me in conversation. It was great to meet him. We've had several of the people stop by, our students who've come by and say hi, say hey, thank you for doing the training you do, and then I go off and get into all the uh, all the different plans we have for later in the year. But in any case, with that, unless you guys have questions, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. So I'm going to end this live first chat. This was really a test to make sure everything was working. I hope you guys, if you're here, you'll stop by. Again, we're above the Siemens trade show booths. We're in a place called, I don't even know, Legends Bar, or we're in the middle of nowhere. So in any case, you really have to search for us to find us. But I do want to say thanks to all the folks from Siemens. This is an ad-free live stream. It should be ad-free. Thanks to Siemens who sponsored my whole trip here. Really appreciate that. Really allowed me to purchase the backdrop, the table. I will get some pictures of some of the different equipment and the layout and where we are, and I'll definitely post those online. But in any case, it's been great to meet everybody in person. John and Lewis and Mark and just so many people. I can't remember, Yuli and Shelly and gee whiz, I know I'm forgetting. I met like a dozen people today in person that I only met virtually. So if you're in the Detroit area, head out. Come check out MIA Manufacturing and Automation. Let me go back to the front here on the Brio. And there's a whole guide here that has multiple sessions. They're doing things on IO-Link. They're doing all kinds of different things. They actually look around for these giveaway cards. They have, you can get free socks. I wonder if the camera will like going that close. Let's see. You can actually go to this website and get some free socks with PLCs on them. Why would you want that? I don't know. If you're a PLC guy, you'll want them, right? But in any case, yeah, lots going on here. Lots going on. So that's it for the test. I want to wish you all a phenomenal afternoon. And until next time, my friends, peace. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? Hope you're all doing well. I'm there's actually a party going on downstairs, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. And I gotta mute YouTube because I'm hearing myself talking. But in any case, I wanted to make sure I had that up to make sure the live stream was going and happening. So with that, let me go back to just make sure LinkedIn's working okay. Alrighty then. So I tried to do this earlier, and what I keep having is there was a Windows update today, and my computer's been crashing every once in a while. I don't know what's going on. So I've been uninstalling everything I've added recently, and I just undid the Windows update. So this time I hope you will get audio when I share with you my walk around the show floor today, which I want to do right now. Let's see if we can do this. So I still have audio. Hopefully you guys can hear me this time. I did delete the last live stream because half of it didn't have audio. So in any case, I just wanted to share with you. So here I am at MIA, Manufacturing America in Detroit. I'm, just got to see some great stuff, which Siemens will be announcing Monday night at the Hanover Fair, and I'll be able to talk about on Tuesday. But just had a great meeting with a bunch of really, really smart people from Siemens, and they were so gracious to answer all my questions. But I'm under an embargo. I can't talk about that right now. So in any case, I was actually in there with Nikki from Automation Ladies and Jake Hall from the Manufacturing Millennial. So all three of us were in there. Got to see this something that's coming that's going to be announced Monday night. So can't wait to talk to you about that more. And with that, that's all I can say about it. So now I want to go over and just to kind of show you what's been going on. But first, I don't know if you can hear the party going on behind me. Let me switch back over to that view. So they're having food and drinks downstairs. I could get down. I have not eaten anything since 4 o'clock yesterday. Not that I'm not that I'm starving to death or anything, but in any case, so I got to get down there and have some food. But I did want to share with you before the end of the day today. I wanted to share with you kind of my walkthrough through the show floor. And I didn't get to all of it by any means. I didn't get to the first robotics section or any of that. But I did want to kind of share that with you. And this the first part of this video, and this is sometimes where it was crashing. So, but I do want to share this with you. And I'm going to Alt Tab back, make sure. It's like every time I Alt Tab and leave Media Player, it pauses. So, but it looks like everything's working. So, this is the area. Let me back that up all the way here. And you can kind of see where we are. We're at the end of the row of kind of in the middle of nowhere, to be honest with you. But in any case, that's my setup. And that's Jake Hall's setup, Manufacturing Millennial. And Nikki's sitting around here. I didn't take a picture where she's sitting, but we're going to try to get her on the show and get me on her show. If you remember, I interviewed Nikki. She's half of the Automation Ladies and with Allie, and just great people. And so you can see down here what's right behind me. This is how I have the webcam just kind of hanging over. It's actually on a stainless steel enclosure that's on this pillow behind me. And you can see, and that's where I was getting all the noise. So the mics I had brought out here, the Rode mics, they were just picking that up more than they were picking up voices. And of course, you can see the field. And then this is at the end of this hallway where we're at. You have to go and take a right. But then if you turn around, you'll see at the other end of this hallway, this is where they have all the hands-on stuff, which is pretty cool. So lots of hands-on going on over here. And let me just fast forward here. Um, lots of PLCs, PGs, you get 1200s, you got 1500s, just all kinds of smart devices connected to each other. This is where customers are coming to actually play with the stuff and get demos and show things how things work. They actually had a little section here where they're using a Vive VR headset, and I don't know what they were doing because I was filming, so I didn't get to talk to them. But in any case, this is all the hands-on area. Very cool little section they had over here. You see that the VFDs, the PLCs, the distributed I/O. There's your high availability redundant PLCs, and so on. So let me fast forward a little bit. Let me back up. I did this last time too. So I asked these guys about getting them on the show. This SunSource, they have a division that does repairs. We all know there's many companies out there that repair old HMIs and industrial equipment, but these guys do. I noticed it. I went up to them. I says, "Yeah, I got some panel views that look like that." So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then from there, I went over to the 80/20 folks, and we're talking to them about 80/20 and talking about getting them on the show, because if you look at this demo, it'll be up in just a second here. There's so many little things they have here that you probably wouldn't know just by picking up the catalog and thumbing through it. And one of the things I really liked about this was that if I've had a lot of people ask me, Shawn, what were the exact part numbers of the things you used to build your training rig? And so they have the ability to let me create a bill of materials up there that then you guys can buy from or edit and customize yourself. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I know a lot of people sell the T-slotted, extruded aluminum, but it'd be nice to be able to build a bill of material and share it with you, either students or people over on the blog or the channel, and you guys could see my actual bill of materials. So I thought that was cool. And from there, just a lot of different people here. Um, I didn't even know about these guys, right? Tabaki, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they have, and I'm thinking gantries and cranes and maybe some robotics, but they have all of those kind of wireways for, when you have to transverse back and forth. And then we had this is the Electromatic booth, and they're kind of showing off some of the things they do. They're just not a distributor. They do a lot of different stuff, right? So you can see some of it there. Of course, they're a big Siemens partner as well. Now this company, Fortress Safety, they had a lot. I was talking to the lady from this company. They have a lot of very interesting products here. If we look at this red box here, we're looking at distributed I/O, Profinet, Ethernet IP, Ethernet Plumbing, EtherCAT coming, I'll say that right, and then Aussie, and then they also have these great interlocks. So if you need to go work in an area that's protected by a light curtain, you can put this bar across the front of the light curtain, take the key out, and then nobody can try to reset the system to be safe again because this will be blocking the light curtain. So I thought those were cool too. And they had all kinds of stuff, buttons and interlocks and whatnot. So from there, this is the raw footage. I just took all the different clips I had and I put them together in one video to get it out to you right away. This was Data Logic. I was ribbing these guys a little bit. I'm like, guys, I keep going to your website every day looking for new news. I don't see any news. I don't see any product announcements. I mean, what are you guys doing? So the guy's like, you know what? We do have a new product in our handheld barcode scanner. This unit is charged by inductive power, right? It's kind of like your phones where it's wireless charging. And, he says, look, the pins at the bottom, they get corroded, they get dirty. So we went to inductive charging, which I think is a great idea. Then we had the guys over. This is, I've been calling this company Luez. It's Lloyd. Now I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's Lloydez. And the guy was really nice, though. He was talking to me about their product lines and whatnot. So I'm hoping to get them on the show. And then Copia, of course, we've covered Copia quite a bit. They've been on the show a few times. And I didn't get to meet the CEO, but did get to talk to some of their good people and talk about one of the things that they surprised me about is that the gentleman who I talked to previously from MDT now works for Copia, right? And he was telling me they can actually use all the MDT agents, like so your mass autosave, right? And I'm like, no way. We got to get you on the show to talk about that because, of course, Octoplant is changing version dog, and MDT they're going to Octoplant, which is the new version of version dog. But in any case, this is kind of hey, you know what? If you wanted to put Copia in and you could reuse their agents that are already deployed, well, that's a +1 for Copia, right? So from there we go over to let's see what's next. Oh, Festo. I didn't see anybody I knew there. I didn't see Sandro any of the guys I know over there. But in any case, machines in motion are always fun to take a look at. So we have this is their demo stand there, and they had a pretty nice booth and a good presence. Several Festo people there. And then what's next? Let's see. I don't know why Media Player goes forward 30 but back 10 because it's like I don't want to go forward 30. Oh, Yaskawa. They had this robot arm and it was serving beer. Yes, it was serving beer. So this is the bottom fed cans that are bottom fed cans. These are the bottom fed cups that are becoming so popular because they fill so quickly with no overflow. And this line was very, very long to get a drink from Yaskawa. But there was also some other robots I took a look at. This one was in their booth. This one was doing something with golf balls, and it seemed like it was going to the beat of some music. You can't hear that. It was just so much crowd noise that you really couldn't hear it on the video. But I thought that was cool as well. Let's see who's next. Oh, and then I went through the Siemens trade show demos, and they got all these great demos up here, all their different products there. As you would expect, the vendor that's a major, a co-sponsor of the event to have. So everything in the catalog was up on the walls here. All their PLCs, all their VFDs, all their, circuit breakers, contactors, and everything. Let me go ahead and fast forward a little bit on machine stuff. IP67, IP69K, lots of VIDs, lots of HMIs in there, right? I don't know why. Oh, we had Jackie. So I actually saw Jackie today. We had Jackie on. That's why they have a Control Logics here, because they can actually talk Ethernet IP with their multi-field bus communication adapters. So that's why they have an Allen Bradley there to show that their VFDs work with Allen Bradley and Ethernet IP. So, and Allen Bradley's not the only one that does Ethernet IP yet, for sure. But in any case, look, kind of give you an idea of what their booth looked like. Lots of stuff there. You get the safety PLC, or fail-safe PLC there. And then I thought this company, let me back up a little bit. So I did see Hilscher there. Nothing much to talk about with them, but with Worma, I hadn't been following Worma, but look at this table full of stuff, right? So this is, all kinds of great indication stuff. And Signal Technic. And then I went over and I saw the Linmont guys. I was asking them what's new. They're like, really not much, but except for the stainless steel slides. I think we covered this in a recent article. And then Crytronics, I didn't know anything about them, so I just took a picture of them because I want to check and see if they're doing press releases. It's a company I could cover in the news. Stopped by to saw the Softing guys, but Jim wasn't there. He doesn't work there anymore. I know Jim back from the ProSoft days. But they were really featuring IT stuff like cable testers, network testers, and whatnot. They really didn't have any of the software guys. Most of the news we've covered about them has been regarding their new software, OPC connectors and whatnot. And so this is kind of just a pan of the hallway with all these vendors in it. This is not the only hallway in the stadium that has vendors in it, but I did want to show that if you keep panning here, you go right out to the field, right? This is Ford Field, right? And how often do you get to go in a NFL stadium and actually, check things out? And there's actually people down on the field trying to kick. Now, the guy who's up next, he didn't do very good, and I know I wouldn't have done very good either. But you can actually attempt to try and kick a field goal. And, of course, this unfortunate soul did not practice at home, so he just went up, and here he goes. And it is a lot harder than it looks. It truly is. But in any case, so that's kind of a wrap up of what we, my walk around the show today. I wanted to share that with you folks.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Welcome back to the Automation Podcast, the Automation Show, Insights in Automation, and live here from Manufacturing in America, Day 2, and just trying out a new set of headphones. I think, let me know in the comments, I think that these are working very well. I can hear a little bit of the chatter when I tested them in the background, but not a whole bunch. So with that, let me, I hate to put my glasses on. I really wish I didn't need glasses. But in any case, I'm supposed to have inside of Restream some type of universal chat, and I'm just not seeing it. So in any case, I'll just come by and check on the different live streams here. If you guys are chatting, I'll definitely try to keep up with you guys. But we are going right now to LinkedIn, my own profile, Shawn Tierney. We're going to YouTube, Insights in Automation. We're going to Twitter, Insights in Automation. Hope to add Rumble at a later date and other destinations, locals and whatnot. We're all looking for 9 more supporters over at locals so we can do more live streaming there. I also would like to do after shows there as well. And one of the things I'm thinking about, well, first of all, let's just bring you up to speed of what we're working on right today. And it's trying to find a good headset that works in these crowds. And I actually went out to the stores. So I went to Best Buy. I bought 2 headsets. I bought this Steel Series, and I bought a Razer. And the mic on the Razer didn't work at all. Like it sounded like. So I spent an hour on it. I'm just going to return it tonight. $100. It has to work out of the box, right? If you can't get it working in 30 minutes, it goes back. So in any case, but this one doesn't seem to have as great of noise cancellation, but I kind of like the low din that I'm hearing. You guys let me know what you think. I want to know, is it overwhelming? Is the noise cancellation good enough? Am I coming through clearly enough? But in any case, there is some software I can download to apparently do more noise cancellation, but I'm running into a problem with all this equipment connected. And again, none of this showed up in my test back at the house, but with all this equipment connected, every once in a while the computer's crashing. So I just went through sysconfig. I disabled everything and anything from VNC, VMware, Adobe Creative Cloud, and all of that. Anything I could think of, I disconnected. I unplugged my cam link. I unplugged my HD60S. And stopped Elgato, so I'm just running with the Brio, which I think does a great job. And I'm a little worried about doing this, but you got to try things, right? So this is a 90-degree view with the Brio, and this is HD, the Brio HD. I know there's multiple Brios out there, and then this is the 78, and then this is the 65, and this is the Capture Logitech Capture
app. So it's outside of OBS. It allows me to do this, and I think it's really cool. So in any case, you can see down here the show floor is just trying to, people are starting to trickle in. My wife was telling me it kind of looks empty from this top view. And, it kind of does. It looks more crowded when you're actually down there trying to navigate between people. But in any case, so with that, I did pick up I went to Target this morning, got here a little late because the Target didn't open to 8. Even though Walmart opens at 6, they didn't have anything. So I found these HyperX. Let me unplug these. They're charging right now. And found these were $100 wireless. I didn't want wireless because I was worried about, with so many wireless devices at the trade show, maybe they wouldn't work. But I figured I'd give them a shot, and they were $100, but on sale for 50. So I picked up 2. We'll see how they sound. They didn't come charged, so I'm charging them right now. Try them out in a little bit. Hopefully, I'll get one of the Siemens guys over and we'll do an interview. But in any case, so that's where we are right now. I'm going to put the show floor. Well, there's not much going on down there. So I got the cameras disconnected because I don't know what's causing the PC to crash, but my PC never crashed before I connected all this stuff. So it has to be something. One of these drivers. Of course, Windows, I uninstalled the update. They forced me to put the update back on. So thank you, Microsoft, for forcing me to put the update that I took off back on. So in any case, with that, I'm just going to check the chat, see if anybody's out there. I know everybody's probably at work right now. So just check in just in case somebody's saying hey. I want to thank everybody who stopped by yesterday and this morning to say hi. And really appreciate you guys stopping by. It's been awesome meeting so many people, and actually met some people from the First Robotics team, so that was good too. May even get them to write a series of articles on what they do in the high school level. I'm only familiar with the Lego League level because that's what I coached, and they may have some curriculum they can share with me and whatnot. So we'll see what happens with that. But in any case, I wanted to talk a little bit. I was just interviewed by the folks over at MDT, obviously MDT. And, they make autosave or mass autosave from way back. And now they have Octoplant. We've talked about that in the Daily Show a number of times. And, they've done a number of webinars. They've been in the event section a few times because they're doing webinars for their customers to tell them why they should upgrade to the newest. And we had a great interview. They invited me on to be an interview. And I actually invited them back on to do an update because it's been a couple of years since we had them on. I think Matt, who's in that previous show, is now working at another company. So I did see him here earlier. And, in any case, it's been great to meet so many people in person. I'm actually thinking, so I was going to go to Automate next month and just kind of walk around and meet people, but I'm thinking it would be fun to live stream right from the show floor, if I can get in the news area. So you guys let me know what you think. Would that be something you would watch or not? But in any case, having said all that, I did want to talk a little bit about insights in automation because I got asked a lot about that. A lot of people are just hearing about us for the first time. So, and I'm just going to go through a little bit of my background. Just going to do this briefly. I'm really doing this as a mic test. So, in any case, I do hope to do an edition of the podcast. I know we usually release them on Wednesday night, and I didn't release anything last night. Man, I actually collapsed in bed after testing out the microphones and finding the one that didn't work and whatnot. So, in any case, about myself. Been doing this for 33 years. So the ad in the newspaper said must know PCs and PLCs. And I had been a big PC guy from way back, right? So, Apple II, Commodore VIC-20, I was a preteen and I fell in love with computers and programming. Now, my father's a master mechanic and he taught me so much. I will never be able to repay my father for everything he taught me as a kid. Construction, electrical, mechanical, just everything. And so, but I really got into this newfangled thing called the personal computer back in, the late 70s, early 80s, right? And that's, when we had Star Wars, we had Tron, we had, Battlestar Galactica, we had all these things happening back then. So Gen Xers know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're Gen X or older, you'll know what I'm talking about. And, there was no such thing as a cell phone. They didn't exist. And in any case, or pocket computers, right? Home computers had just come out. And so in any case, I fell in love with programming, but by the time I graduated high school, I was like, I wanted to get into electronics. So I went to school for electronics, ended up getting a degree, a 2-year degree, and got married. I was with my wife and I had been dating for over 2 years. We wanted to get married, so I said, you know what, I'm going to take my degree and run. And, I worked at a military contract for about a year. Didn't really like it. Well, I first worked building computers. Then I got a job at a military contract. Didn't like it. Moved down south. And applied for this job that says PCs and PLCs. And, it was interesting because I'm like, it's just an L. What's the difference, right? PC, PLC, it's just an L. And that's how I got into this crazy business and spent the last 33 years really, working industrial automation. Did a lot of electrical too. I mean, they encouraged me to learn the electrical side because Stewart Sierra Company, great company, well, is an electrical distributor, and they sell electrical products and automation products and whatnot. So I learned a lot about the electrical side, a lot more than my dad ever was able to teach me about products, about different things, about enclosures, about NEMA ratings, and all of that. And it was a great experience, great people. But I kind of didn't like the people where I worked down on the Gulf Coast was amazing, but the climate wasn't for me. It was much like Orlando, right? It's just like 95 and 100% humidity every day. So we moved back up north, and I got another job, and I worked up here for distributors. I ended up working for Rockwell Automation Distributors for 25 years, and I always gravitated towards the PLCs, right? PLCs, HMI, and SCADA, and then later MES, thanks to Rockwell and their great STPA program. And they trained us all up on S95, and that was just a phenomenal experience for the most part, and met a lot of great people over the years, and learned so much. So many smart colleagues and customers taught me so very much. I can never thank everybody that I don't know if I visited 5,000 different plants, everything from wastewater to high-end semiconductor, and just all the end users, the engineers, the integrators, the OEMs, the even salespeople have taught me so much. So, and I created Insights and Automation to give that all back. I just want to give back, right? I can never thank all those people who taught me everything I know, but at least I can pass it on to you folks. And that's why Insights and Automation exists. Now, why did I leave a six-figure job with people I loved working for, and I worked with for 11 years, because just a great team I had down in Holyoke and Albany, and that I work with, and they were just phenomenal. Why did I leave? And simple answer. I was tired of driving. I would sometimes drive 8 hours a day to do 4 hours worth of work. And they would pay for a hotel if you want to do overnight, but who wants to sleep in a strange bed, right? Not me. I have family, I've got kids, and I have grandkids, 3 grandkids. I want to be home, right? So even though it was a great job, it paid great, I worked with some great people. It was a drive. And secondly, they wanted us to be more sales, and I'm a technical guy. I'm a programmer from my teenage years, so preteen years. So in any case, I started Insights and Automation, and even though I don't make nearly as much as I used to, man, it is so awesome giving back to you guys. And now with the podcast and all the shows, I get to meet vendors, I get to find out what's new, and it's just a blast. And just meeting the students who've come here, who've taken my courses, has been awesome. They really just inspire me to do more. And I can't, one guy just kept going on and on, all the plans I have for the courses, all the upgrades I'm going to be doing for free for existing students and new students. And, if you buy the course today, if you buy any of the level 1, 2 extended courses, you get all the upgrades for free, right? So in any case, just really looking forward to it. But I have to, I also have to, keep the lights on, right? And that's why I'm here today, meeting members, want to get more work with more of them, get more sponsorships. As I've talked about before, Siemens has been a great sponsor, and we've worked with other great companies too, IFM, Banner. Now I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody out, but we've had so many great sponsors. PNF, RC, awesome. His episode's coming up soon. It'll be right before Automate. So in any case, and I know I'm going to leave somebody out, and I apologize, but we've had some great sponsorships, and that really helps us grow the show, grow what we do more interviews and whatnot. So just want to say a huge thank out to all those sponsors who, I'm running this promotion. I don't think I can reach it from here, but it's called Impact 100,000. And basically, for the same price you would get for a tiny little ad in a magazine, or maybe 10, 15,000 views on one of these big websites, right? We can give you 100,000 views. Plus, we'll unbox your product. Plus, we'll show people how to use it, do like a first setup. You guys see me recently. I think the most recent one I did was Red Lion. They've been awesome to work with. They sponsored those shows, so they were commercial free for you guys. And we can do so much more. So, you got to ask your vendors, do you want a little ad in a newspaper or a magazine that nobody's going to read? Do you want maybe 10 or 15 or 20,000 views on some website that's full of advertising? All the articles are promotional articles, or most of them. Or do you want to really impact the audience, right? Do you want 100,000 people to see your ad? 100,000 people to see your ad? 100,000 controls engineers to see your ad? Do you want to come on Shawn's show and make it ad free, right? So that there's no ads, and put some links in there. So if somebody does want your product, the link's right there in the description. Do you want, to have Shawn unbox your product, to set it up and test it? Do you want it to show up on the wall? Where is Red Lion? Red Lion is right there. Of course, we've had RTA sponsor shows. You can see them right there. Everything up here has been sampled, middle and up has been sampled to us, and most of it's been sponsored. So I should do middle up from here. So those are everything sampled. So I redid the wall recently. I took a lot of stuff off and moved it around because I wanted to put the sponsors in the primo spots, right? So in any case, and I really appreciate all the vendors who worked with us. And yes, we're working with Moxa to get them on. We're working with Automation Direct to get them on. We're working with IFM to get them back on. We're working with Phoenix to get them back on. I got a message in my inbox from the great guys over there that I got to respond to. It's just been insane. So, and there's some things you see up here I haven't put in my courses yet that will be going in the courses, right? Like this on-machine I/O or this IP6769 I/O. Definitely want to get that in the course. It's not going to cost my students an extra dime to get those lessons. And then we have the ET200 SP. Whoops. All right, let's see if I can point. Everything's in reverse. But in any case, a lot of that stuff came in after I was done filming the major lessons of the course, so I never get to add them, but they will get added to the course. If you buy the level 1 today, it's still $99. I haven't had a chance to update it to $149. But if you buy it today, you'll be getting the level 1, and if I do level 2, you'll be getting all that. I'll eventually split out and do a new level 1 at a reduced price at $99. But this course today, like all my courses, just grows and grows and grows. And I was telling John from Siemens, I says, you see those HMIs up there? Those Siemens HMIs, those are going to be added to all the courses. So they'll go into the Siemens course first, just like I did with my Micro 800 course. I did a Panel View 800. We designed a couple screens to work with the project we had built over time. And so those other screens, those will be added to not only to my Siemens S7 course. Those displays are going to get added to the Control Logic course, the Compact Logic, because Siemens supports those controllers. They're not just Siemens, but they support third parties. So we'll be adding simple lessons on how to use those HMIs to all the PLC courses that HMI can talk to. So it's a rinse and repeat thing. I do it once for Siemens, and I do the same thing again for Control Logic and right down the line. So really looking forward to doing that. And but sponsorships help, courses help. When customers, when end users, like a big internet retailer reached out to me recently and said, "Hey, we want to get 7 people in your courses." That really helps me spend more time developing the courses and adding to them. So these all come with lifetime access and support. You buy one, you can get my AB Mega Bundle for $550. Or if you're going to group enroll 5 or 7 people, we can take a discount off that, right? And then they have it for as long as they work for you, because I know, I've worked at the tech support phone long enough to know that people have questions on RS links and communications and cables. That doesn't go away if they don't use it every day, right? And that's why I do this job. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to talk to vendors, have them on the podcast. Hopefully get MDT, obviously MDT on the podcast. Talk to so many people down there. I'm like, you guys got to come on the show. We got to talk about your products. We got to bring the trade show. That's what I envision the product and technology show, the automation podcast. That's what I envision it being. It's bringing the trade show to you, one vendor at a time. And that's the whole purpose of it. So in any case, I'm hoping the mic is working well. I'm going to check right now to see if anybody's put any feedback in. I think everybody's at work, so you guys are you're not chatting here, which is understandable, very understandable. And I got to get the coordinated. So this is all like a science project for me. But in any case, I appreciate you all. Will reply to everybody who comments out there on these. I tried to do most of them this morning. Got through all the LinkedIn messages, got through all the locals messages, tried to get through all of the emails as well. There were a couple that were like, hey, we want to work, do business with you. Those I'll save till I get back. But in any case, I hope to get back down to the show floor later today and walk around with the camera and get some more pictures on the booths I didn't cover in yesterday's show. Also, I'd love to get somebody from Siemens on, or one of these vendors on, to do an episode of the podcast. I think around 150. Oh, you guys tell me, what episode are we on now? The ones for next week when I'm on vacation, so I'll be really off the grid, off video next week. And then the following week when I get back from vacation, I have those 2 all ready to go. They're all scheduled and up to go. I want to do one here live from the show. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. So we've done every single week for over a year on the Automation Podcast. We had over 100,000 downloads last year. Just really exciting. We're up 49% this year so far. So really appreciate everybody who's tuning into the Automation Podcast. Thank you, everybody who's doing the 5-star review on the audio-only editions. The thumbs up and subscribe on YouTube's awesome, and on LinkedIn is great. But on the audio podcast, that helps us really grow, because that's kind of like a new area for us. Out of our 100 and some odd thousand downloads last year, 20,000 were audio, but we're seeing that grow a lot this year too. So a lot of you are in the car, you're looking for something to listen to, and so we want to keep bringing you that, bring that trade show to you, bring you that new product information to you, because we know you guys are busy. Everybody's so busy. So in any case, let me see if I can go to the automation blog. I have so many links up here. Next time I do this, I got to have two monitors. It's killing me only having one monitor. So those of you who have two monitors know what I'm talking about. It's hard to go back to one monitor when you have two. So in any case here. All right, so 148. This would be 149. With 151 and 150 and 151 are already scheduled. So if I can get one done this week, get an interview in, if these headsets work, then that will be 149, and then we'll have 150 and 151 already scheduled to come out. I don't remember who they're with. I did that before all this craziness. But in any case, I want to end this first live stream of the day by just wishing you all an awesome day. I know a lot of you are working right now, so you may tune in tonight. So I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great evening. If today is your birthday, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. Hope you have an awesome day. If tomorrow's your birthday, have a great birthday tomorrow. And I just want to wish you guys all the best. And until next time, my friends, peace. Okay, well, the show has just ended. As you can see in that picture, the vendors are clearing up. You may want to say, hey, Shawn, how come your mic wasn't working? And I thought I had everybody else muted. I guess not. I forgot to do that. So in any case, I think this is a great show. If you live within the Detroit area, if you're a couple-hour drive away, this is definitely worth your while. Of course, I was here most of the day up in the upper deck. I was... and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but if you're within a couple hours, there's a lot of vendors here. You saw in my show floor video, I only covered a portion of it. I got to talk to a lot of the first robotics students today, and that was awesome, actually. I tried to give them some good advice as a dad and a granddad, some good advice, but some things to think about, things to watch out when they're looking at colleges. And also, I tried to encourage them to just keep on doing the robotics stuff and not get distracted with getting a dead-end job so they can pay for a car so they can have a social life. There's new ways. You don't need to have your own car or bug mom and dad to go places anymore, right? There's Ubers and whatnot. So if you know somebody who's respectable, but in any case, back on track here. So if you're within a couple hours of this event, I would highly recommend coming next year. Electromatic and Siemens did a great job. And at first, I didn't know how they were going to pull it off, but they do utilize the corridors around the field for a trade show extremely well. Now, I didn't go to any of the sessions. I did talk to several customers and students who went to sessions. They said they were excellent. So you're getting a mini trade show. You're getting the top people from Siemens and many of the top people from... Now, there are a lot of local vendors here, too. I met a lot of people who just cover the greater Detroit area. But you do also have some national people here, too. Definitely from Siemens, but also national people from some of the other vendors here, too. Like the people from MDT. Obviously, MDT and Copia, they were side by side, which is a little awkward. But they're both great companies. And... just so many of the other companies that came here really brought their A game. That some didn't because it's just to them it's just a local trade show, and that's fine too. But in any case, so definitely keep this on your books for next year. It's free, and you can actually go down on Ford Field. You get to see the press rooms. A lot of places you get to go, you'll never get to see. So if you're a fan of the local sports teams, then this would probably be something you would enjoy. Having said that. I do think that I shouldn't have been placed here. I should have been on the show floor with the other people. Hindsight's 2020, right? I think this was great for Jake Hall, the manufacturing millennial. He did a lot of one-on-one interviews, and this is great. He had the Ford Field behind him, and he needed more quiet. I want to be in the mix of things. I want to be down with the vendors. I want to be talking to vendors, talking to customers, talking to students, and so that's one thing I told the folks who invited me, if you invite me back, I want to be on the show floor. Made me even think about possibly seeing if there's any booth space available at Automate. I just want to sit and talk to people who come by, people who need training or people who want to get on the podcast and talk about products and technology. So that's that part of it. I think I learned a lot. Technically, this is the first show I tried to come to and live stream from. First time I used this backdrop and this setup. I learned a lot of things. First of all, big fan of this Brio HD, and I know there's a camera that's identical to it that's for commercial use. This is more of the office use one, but they're both identical. And I'd highly recommend it. I love the three different perspectives, being able to go wide. I'm in wide now, but be able to shrink in it on the fly using the Logi Capture app. I just love that. Works great with OBS. Had no problems. Um, I did learn a lot about. Let me put it back in widescreen here. I'm going to lower my volume. It looks like I'm overdriving a little bit. I did learn a lot about the microphones that work in a noisy environment. I think I have a really good idea on how to test that at home. To not having ever live streamed from a trade show before, I think I know a lot of things I can do to test that and to work on that and make sure I get good microphones. But definitely like the HD Brio from Logitech. It's much better than my 922. Although the 922s are doing a pretty good job capturing the show floor. And a lot of these things you're looking, hey, will it work through a USB 3.0 extender, which it does, and so on. So also this USB switch I got has been doing wonders. I did learn that there's a lot of headsets out there that are horrible. They have no noise cancellation. I think this one's doing a pretty good job. I like that it catches a little bit of the background. I'm not using their enhanced software noise cancellation. With the crashes I was having with all the different products and updates, I didn't want to add that to the mix. But in any case, you guys let me know. What do you think? What do you think of this headset and the audio? I was actually listening to the other headset I have, which was a Bluetooth headset, and that sounded pretty good too. So I don't know which one I like better. I'll have to go back and listen to the different live streams and see which one's better. Um, I'm returning a lot of headsets, though. I bought a bunch of headsets, and most of them are not very good, and it makes me wonder about the industry and what's going on when you find hundreds of people with the same issues. But, I thought my lavalier mic would work. They didn't. But in any case, I just wanted to wrap up here and thank everybody who watched, everybody who commented. I want to thank all the customers and followers and connections who stopped by, especially today. They finally found me because I'm in the middle of nowhere. So all those connections and followers who sought me out and found me, thank you so very much for coming by and saying hi. It was great talking to James and Tisha and just so many other people. Actually, Tisha, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I know Atisha, but it could have been Tisha. She actually brought me Peeps. I threw them away already. But she heard that I wasn't getting any Peeps because my grandkids weren't here, and so that was awesome. And just great talking to all the so many Siemens guys I've worked with over the years, just seeing them face to face. That's, I think, the best thing about the show is meeting all the other people that are also creating content, meeting all the vendors face to face, meeting new vendors, meeting customers, meeting students, meeting people who say, "Hey, I saw your post 3 years ago. It really helped me out." So with that, I'm going to stop packing up. There already, you can see, Copia, MDT. A lot of people are already packed up. They're taking down the robots, taking down the trade show stands. So in any case, I'm going to do the same here, and won't be driving home tonight. I'll get up early morning, drive home tomorrow morning. Probably take 10, 11 hours again, and then I fly out Saturday for my vacation. So I won't be broadcasting or posting anything from vacation. I don't think. I still try to check emails, so customers or students who need help, I'll be helping you guys. But in any case, I just want to wish you all, since this will be my last live stream, probably until I get back in a week and a half, I just want to wish you all a great week, great weekend. Hope you have a great next week as well. I want to thank everybody who sent in your thoughts and comments and suggestions. Really appreciate that. And just stay happy, stay healthy. And until next time, my friends, peace.